I'm really honored and humbled to be here and to talk about two institutions that we are going to establish in Ethiopia. I'm going to deviate from the general theme of this year's edition of the Afar Forum Conference, which is about drought, and talk about two institutions that we are planning to establish in Ethiopia. The first is the SultanAliMirah Institute for Research and Development, and the other one is the SultanAliMirah Foundation. I thought I was going to be given half an hour each, for each presentation, but I think I only have 20-something minutes to finish both presentations, so I'll try to be quick. So I don't want to go into some of the problems that the Afar people are going through or experiencing in Ethiopia, because I think everybody is aware of those problems. So the Afar region is one of the regional states of federal Ethiopia under the provisions of Article 47, paragraph 1. So this slide just gives you some of the problems that the Afar people are experiencing, and it kind of gives you an overview or an introduction on what issues that the SultanAliMirah Institute is going to be engaged on. The rationale for establishing the institute can be summed up by one of my favorite quotes of the great Albert Einstein. He said, "The world as we have created it is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking." So this is just to mean that we have, I think, come to a point where we have to change our way of thinking in changing or in trying to change the lives of the Afar people. Okay? For example, the Afar people lags behind in all the development sectors. For example, education is one example. Health, water issues, we have countless problems. So instead of just constructing a school or building a school in a certain locality, we have to first see what are the reasons for the less number of students enrolled in a certain localities, in an education facility found in a certain locality. So as you can see from the slide, the severity of the situation that we are in calls for a systematic approach to solve those problems. So you can also see the or understand the role of quality interdisciplinary research in trying to find solutions for some of the problems of societies. This slide gives you the mission, vision, and goals of the SultanAliMirah Institute. Before I just go to the next slides, like I said, I'm just a lawyer by training. I'm not an expert in development studies or establishing an institute. I'm just a concerned citizen. I'm just a concerned Afar. So I'm just presenting these two institutions to discuss with you on how to engage the Afar diaspora and other stakeholders on how to help the Afar people, maybe in the way of helping or assisting the SultanAliMirah Institute, the foundation, or any other way. So I'll give you the proposals as well as the slides, where I have two proposals, one for the establishment of the SultanAliMirah Foundation and another one on the establishment of the institute. So If you're interested, you let me know your addresses and I can email you both the proposals as well as the slides. So this slide gives you some of the alternative names of the institute, but initially we have come to the understanding that it's better to name it as the SultanAliMirah Institute for Research and Development. This slide gives you some of the objectives of the institute. To integrate researchers found in all corners of the country as well as abroad, with a view to institutionalizing efforts, to undertake interdisciplinary research and perform outreach activities, and so on. You can see it on the slides. The next few slides, you can see some of the priority research areas of the institute. As you can see, the first one is health, and then the other one is education. Next comes water, sanitation, and hygiene, food security, poverty reduction, increasing livestock productivity, disaster preparedness and risk management, and one of which is drought. Another one is environmental management and conservation. I'm not going to go into some of the sub issues here because I think I'm running out of time. So you can all see these the issues under each priority area on the slides as well as the proposals that I'm going to send you if any of you are interested. There's one more. It says cultural and historical studies. The organizational structure of the institute is it will have an advisory board, a director general, a deputy director general, and the necessary staff. Here you can see the organogram of the proposed institute. On the strategies part, you can see there are research strategies, partnership strategies, human research strategy, as well as branding strategy. The institute will be, of course, under periodical monitoring and review. So so this is the most important part in the preparation of the proposal, hosting arrangement. Three different kinds of or alternative kinds of hosting arrangement have been proposed. One is to establish the institute as an independent research institute. The other one is to host the institute in one of the local universities in Ethiopia, such as Samara University, or the other one is again to link the institute in one of the universities abroad. You know some of the problems found in Samara University or any other institute in the Afar region, so it's really difficult to establish the institute in or at Samara University or any other local universities. So I'll come back to this issue later on when if there's time, when I talk about the role of the diaspora. But the issue here is, I think the diaspora can play a really important role in this respect, especially those of you who are serving as lecturers or professors in universities abroad. It will be very easier for the institute to operate as part of a university which is working abroad. So it may be a university in Canada or Sweden or Belgium or any part of the world. So if we are able to, establish the institute by linking it to one of the foreign universities, it will be really easier for us to operate in the way we want to. The last slide, I think, shows the statute of the SultanAliMirah Institute. It covers certain important issues such as the objectives of the institute, the seat of the institute, organizational structure, powers and responsibilities of the advisory board, the director general, the deputies, and so on. Financial resources management, review of the institute, auditing and accounting, and so on. So this is just a brief introduction about the proposed SultanAliMirah Institute for Research and Development. Let me take a few minutes and talk to you about another institute which we are planning to constitute again in Ethiopia, the SultanAliMirah Foundation. So again, I'm not going to go into some of the problems or the situation in the Afar region in Ethiopia. So the first few slides talk about certain issues which the Afar people are going through. So I'm just going to talk about some issues by going to the third slide. So the foundation is going to be named under the name of the Great Sultan, SultanAliMirah Foundation. The priority areas of the foundation, again, are going to be in consultation with the development, some of the development partners, both in Ethiopia and abroad. We can also make use of some of the research outputs of the SultanAliMirah Institute. Again, there's also an important role to be played by the Afar diaspora. We can also try to involve the regional government and the federal government if applicable. So this slide talks about the charities and societies, or agency of the federal government. As you know, any charity or society which receives more than 10% of its income for a project has to be registered under the federal government. So this agency, the Charities and Societies Agency, is the one which is responsible for registering and regulating all charities and societies in Ethiopia. As you can see, a charity is defined under the Charities and Societies Law as an institution which is established exclusively for charitable purposes and gives benefit to the public. And it goes on in defining what charitable purposes is, and it also defines benefits, the term benefits to the public. A structure of the foundation under the Charities and Societies Law, foundation has to have a board of management, which is constituted with people, a minimum number of 3. It has to have a manager. It has to have an auditor and other departments as necessary. The other requirement is there's an application form to be filled in by the founder himself. So the application has to have the name and address and other information of the founder and so on. And another issue of establishing a foundation in Ethiopia is the issue of an act of endowment. So the founder has to give a house, a car, or a certain amount of money to be deposited in a block account in a bank in Ethiopia. So that's one of the rigorous requirements of establishing a foundation in Ethiopia, which is a bit different from establishing an ordinary NGO. So after filling in the application form and appointing the board of management, the office, after having an office, and there comes another issue of submitting a project proposal for the agency. So for any NGO or any foundation to be registered under the Charities and Societies Law in Ethiopia, it has to first submit a project proposal. And the project proposal that we have designed currently is establishing certain libraries in some parts of the Afar, in the Afar region. We have identified Aisaita, Logia, Samarai, Ab'ala, and Awash. The reason why we wanted to establish certain libraries is because it's easier to secure funds, and the other reason is because it's much cheaper than building a house for schools or for health facilities. The number that you see next to the names of the towns gives you the number of students enrolled in those 5 schools. In Aisaita we have 1,592 and so on. So these are the numbers. I think it becomes 5,000 some hundred students that will be the beneficiaries of the public libraries or the SultanAliMirah libraries if we're able to open them. This slide gives you the justification for constituting a library in a certain locality, the importance of education, the importance of libraries in assisting educational activities and so on. So the aim of the project is to establish 5 libraries in 5 parts of the Afar region. This is only phase 1. If this project succeeds, so we can go on and establish the same libraries in the other 32 high schools of the region. This table gives you the exact number of students, except for Samaraga's boarding school. It gives you the exact number of students by sex and by grade. So the general objective of the institute is to establish 5 libraries in 5 localities, as I said. This slide, you can see some of the materials and things that we require for establishing the institute, from books, computers, and so on, to water coolers and dispensers. Another important issue is beneficiary selection criteria for this phase 1, the first phase of the project. How are we going to select the beneficiaries of this project? You can also see some of the project activities, the output, the descriptions of each area, and other important issues in the proposed draft proposal. So as I said, I will send the draft proposals of both the institute and the foundation to any of you, and we can try to improve the proposals to see to that both the institute as well as the foundation would become functional and very helpful for improving the lives of the Afar people. So you can just consider them as a discussion paper, and you can send me your feedbacks, suggestions, comments, criticisms via my email address, and we can, we will try to improve both the proposals, and we can also discuss about on how to make both institutions a reality. Thank you very much.
This is very important. This is, think about it. Dama maxaa daba sugay ululke حقي بني آدم حقي مقبوط يا دaba sugne baro barito kadu barito le mara mu sinni حقي سرلي أريجي استرو كوا هاي تمام سنام محاسنام فرنسا جبوتي سكت سافوس كل ما سوينا إنتو ما سوينا محا هو بدو سنام بار اللي سكتنا راعنا كده استرو ما سوينا هو سبت سكول ما فكنا كل ما قال أساكو وسكت يا أبما institute هاي أوي فاي نم يس بولي أوي أنا مو بريتنا مو و إدي أبغى سويمي بريتك دمهناي institution نكفر دمله Afara institution ماينو human rights institution educational institution research institution نانو نيني بحسنا وينكي نم بحثا and that is what سوكر دعوة متتيا توسع بتاعتي حتى أنا مفردمتا كادو نما فككي أنا موكل ما برتي يوم ملا كلا سلطان جنجيو سلطان عسعيد هلا أسكول لكسجي عفر كل بارو كما تبوكل بريتك سكتي هاي كدتيا حتى نم فردمتا خصوصا عندانيتي the young people أساكو على library كيت مامي كدتها مثنام دودنا كمبيوتر إنا نو فدوا إنا كمبيوتر كادو ربع هينه وكل سنام إلا بريتها بنام دودنا أبوا كادو روبانا دودنا ما ها أكل يوم مراه بلجيك التنا عفرة لا جبوتي فن ربطها هاي نبله إلا بنام دودنا هاي the young people if they can do one thing is participate in this program because you can connect it to your school, you can connect it to the university. The Europeans and Americans, everyone are generous people, they give, but we just need to go and knock the door. Yep, we can, if we don't go and ask them to help us, people help. If you don't ask, nobody will remember you. Those but I know if address KAKBI, email KAHUI, and one person can change the world, one person. In Kinomo, at the still think about Gandhi, one person, how he started and changed India. Liberated India from 500 years of subjugation of the British Empire. In Kinomo. So there is maybe one Gandhi here among us. So think about it.